Sup guys, the name's Ryan Dragon and welcome back to Seduce Me the Otome. So now we'll be doing James. We'll be seducing the gentleman. Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be fun. So since you know I'm going to be doing James in this route, I guess you'll be knowing the order of the guys. I'll be doing Eric's next, and then finally I'll be doing Sam's. I'm doing Sam's, even though Eric is like my number one bear or whatever. Sam's ending is actually the canon ending, as I said before, so I'm gonna do Sam last. Now, as I said in the last video when I started Matthew's route, I skipped the whole beginning, and if you want to go see the beginning, go watch my Damien's route, or the first video. And I'll be skipping a few of the stuff that I've seen before while playing the routes. So if you want to see the whole thing from like the beginning, I suggest you go watch Damien's route and then come back to this. And without further ado, let's start. Well, might as well make myself at home. I'll be staying here for quite a while anyways. That's when I saw them. Lying on the floor was a group of men. They were all unconscious, but there was no explanation as to why they were there in the first place. I dropped my bag as I let the door close on its own behind me. Huh? Who the heck are these guys? Why are they here? What's going on? Some of them had open wounds. The blood was staining the floor, and the scent was intermingling with the air. I couldn't help but feel bad for them instinctively, but nevertheless I was shocked and a bit angry at the sudden intrusion. My mind suddenly went from caring and concern to confused and demanding answers. Who are you guys? No response. I'll call the police. Still nothing. None of them seemed to be awake to answer or respond to me. It seemed surreal to have random strangers in the house I just moved into. Oh, excuse me. But I wanted answers quickly. That was until... Eep! Get away from me!
Woman, you're going to let me kiss you.
Now's not the time, Sam. It's never the time. Okay, he says in the distance. Ugh. Couldn't believe it, but within the mere blink of an eye, one of the men went from lying on the floor being right in front of my face, and I felt serene and calm about it. Desire burned from my chest, telling me to accept his kiss, blah, 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 even though my mind refused. Go ahead.
Good.
I'm just gonna skip.
Sam, stop it.
It's the person kissing me. Sam was his name. Glanced behind.
I said stop. Now.
Fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, James. We're gonna be seducing him now. Yay. What? Huh? Couldn't tell what was going on. My mind was completely erupt by the kiss, and my thoughts then melted into the depths of my forgotten memories. Oh, jeez.
Please forgive my brother. He's a bit reckless.
Blah.
At least I feel a hell of a lot better than you right now.
Because you used your abilities on her.
Sam, you're such a reckless brute. Taking advantage of a beautiful young woman like her.
Shut that pretty boy mouth of yours before I rip it off your pretty boy face.
Sheesh, you guys. Can we not fight right now? Not all of us are in the best state.
I guess you are right, Matthew.
I agree.
Still the quiet one. However, as the men got up and started to chat freely, my thoughts began to reassemble, and I remembered my confusion and anger once again, only now multiplied tenfold. What?
Huh? Did you say something beautiful?
And I exploded. What is going on? Why the hell are you in my house? Why are y'all wooing? Why did you kiss me? Who the fuck are you guys? Oh, jeez. Couldn't help but exploding, but after being taken advantage of and being left in a mush state, my words escaped without filter. I definitely scared the men around me, even the man who kissed me. Wait a second, the guy who kissed me.
Ouch! What's your problem?
What's your problem? You can't just go around forcing people to kiss you like that. Are you some kind of pervert?
Pervert! It was only a kiss!
Being a pervert is Eric's job, okay? Okay. It might mean nothing to you, but it means a lot to me.
What? Was it your first kiss? Ow! Hey! What was that for?
I know first kisses aren't exactly amazing and full of sparkles and rainbows and unicorns and whatnot, but at least expect it to be more than just something forced.
So it was your first kiss. Stop making such a big deal out of it.
I think the reason why Michaela made Sam's ending canon for us is because he stole our first kiss. I'm gonna just believe that. Just because he stole our first kiss, we were like destined to be together. Okay. Are you asking to get punched again?
Well, what do you want me to do? It's not like I can somehow take it back.
Punching you anyway.
How? You're just being violent now!
You deserved it. Anyway, if you try to pull any funny business in the future, just a fair warning. I know Taekwondo. Think I've bickered enough time to get back to the main issue, and I'm gonna skip here because they're just gonna talk about being incubi. And okay, Eric just seduced us and whatnot. We fainted, now we're here, so I'm just gonna skip meeting Damien. Sorry, Damien, I always regret doing this because you're just so precious. Jump up and protect yourself. Instantly jumped up and grabbed the pillow, covering myself with it. I felt stupid, yes, but who knew what this guy could do? Do your worst. This time I'm prepared. I sound so stupid. He didn't move. I guess he wasn't going to attack me. Sorry. And then I'm going to skip all of that. And then Matthew. And then he's going to create a toy to make me feel better. And it turned to be that squirrel thing. So, you can have it.
What? I appreciate the thought, but no thanks.
That's too bad. Are you sure? I picked up the doll and waved it around him. It was funny teasing him.
Ah! Help! It's gonna kill me!
So adorable. Doll. Alright, I'll stop.
Anyway, I'm heading back to help out with the food. You can come over if you're hungry.
I think I'll go with you then. Something smells good. My stomach rumbled in agreement. I was starving.
Oh, the girl's awake.
Excuse you, I have a name.
Should we really care?
Sam, I will roast that tongue for dinner if it doesn't stop flapping in that idiotic mouth of yours.
Listen to James, Sam. Please stop talking.
Whatever.
I apologize for his attitude.
Oh, that's fine. He's a douchebag right now, but oh well.
Good. I hope you'll enjoy the meal we prepared for you.
Meal? For a second, my mind didn't understand what James meant. Maybe it was the doll getting to my head and distracting me. Ah, that's right. Damien and Matthew mentioned that they were making dinner as an apology. Oh, wait, you didn't have to.
We insist. Besides, it's quite impossible to undo our cooking, even if you command us to.
I totally forgot to mention when I skipped the whole main issue thing that they're all incubi. Just in case, just to remind those who haven't watched my first video and just decided to come here, all the guys are incubi. So yeah, moving on. Alright, well, thank you. Matthew put down the last of the plates on the table and bowed a bit exaggeratedly to me, gesturing to the table with a sweeping motion.
Ah, there we go. Dinner's all served.
The table was filled with various foods from an eclectic selection of cuisines. One portion of the table was filled with elegantly plated Asian foods, and another portion of some yummy-looking desserts. And there were more and more plates than I could have possibly imagined. Whoa, that's a lot of food, and it all looks so good.
We hope you enjoy it, my sweet.
What? Sweet? Me? Eric, once again, I am a potato. An awkward potato. I am not sweet. Please.
That's enough, Eric.
You're no fun, James.
I don't need to be fun, Eric. Miss, please follow me.
I didn't know what came over me, but whether it was politeness or maybe his power, but I couldn't help but take his offered arm. James seemed very kind and intelligent, but aside from that, there was something that set him apart from his brothers. Not to mention, he didn't really seem to hold much appreciation for them.
Miss, I have to ask, why do you live alone?
Oh, well, it's kind of a long story.
I'm all ears if you wish to tell.
Sure, why not? You're such a gentleman. I don't want to be rude. I will talk about my problems to you because you seem willing to listen. Sure. To put it briefly, I just moved here today.
That explains the luggage you brought in when you came through the front doors. By the way, we put your belongings in the room you were sleeping in. That seems to be the master bedroom, I believe.
Thanks. This house is really big. I don't think I even explored the entirety of the estate when I was a child.
You lived here before?
No. Truth be told, this is my grandfather's house. I used to visit him all the time when I was younger.
May I ask why you now live in your grandfather's house?
He actually passed away yesterday. It was bequeathed to me in his will, and I was sent to live here whether I liked it or not.
My condolences. It seems like you don't like the idea of living here.
It's not that I don't like this house or that I don't have fond memories of being here. It's just the implications that come with staying at this estate. It's kind of complicated to explain.
How do you feel about it?
I certainly wasn't expecting that question, but in a good way. It was different from what I had heard the entire day at school. I appreciated the fact that he was willing to listen. I feel angry, sad, scared, and confused. It's hard picking out the different emotions that I'm feeling right now. I wish I was stronger.
You don't have to be strong.
What do you mean?
I understand that you're going through a difficult time, so it's okay to feel those emotions. You don't have to be strong at all.
Thank you.
Are you all right? There seems to be a small bruise on your cheek.
Oh dear Lord, he noticed the bruise. What? Okay, so if you all just decided to skip my Damien road and came here, our dad bitch slapped us for being sassy with him about grandfather and all that. And the bruise was very tiny. You'd have to squint to see it. So for him to be able to see this bruise that our father gave to us, that's unbelievable. Okay. He caught me off guard with that comment. I thought no one would have noticed something as small as that. Oh, I'm fine. He stopped and leaned in close, a bit too close for comfort. Or maybe it was just me, inspecting my face. He was really quite tall, having to bend over so much just to look at me straight in the face. It was hard to look at him, especially when he was so close. After a few seconds, he straightened up and began walking away.
Well, if you're having any problems, I'm always here to listen.
That's really kind of you to offer that. Seriously, this man is a gentleman. I can't stress that enough that he's awesome and whatnot. I've grown to love this man more and more. Just saying.
My pleasure. Here's your seat.
Let me get your chair for you, lovely lady.
Let's just go back to Eric being my number one bae, okay? Okay. Oh, Eric was very charming and his smile pulled at my heart. The way he kept flirting with me definitely designated him as the charmer of the demons. Yet there was a little distance in his eyes.
By the way, I apologize for my behavior earlier. Stealing your second kiss like that.
Huh? Oh yeah, when I didn't believe that they were incubi. It's fine, I guess. I mean, you just didn't get up and grab a kiss for no reason, unlike some people that I know.
I'm not as forward, unlike Sam.
Suddenly, Eric leaned in and whispered in my ear.
I won't lie, though. I enjoyed kissing you and feeling you melt in my arms.
Yeah. I was torn between smacking him and trying to play it cool. I need to be cool, but I also need to smack you. I'm going to smack you. I am sorry.
Ah! That's going to sting.
Sorry, I panicked.
No, I was expecting that.
I drew my attention back to the dishes. I was both intrigued and slightly scared by the amount of food they made. Seeing my expression, Eric leaned forward and proudly smiled, gesturing to all of the dishes with a dramatic sweep of his arm.
I made almost all of the dishes myself.
Humorously enough, Matthew looked at him with a shocked expression as if he was betrayed. His face changed instantly to that of a frown.
And I'm the Queen of the Nile.
What's that supposed to mean?
Me, you, and James did the work together, dummy.
It's you, James, and I, Matthew.
Little boys will always make mistakes.
Matthew looked at James in disbelief, probably for siding with Eric, and he annoyedly swiveled back to Eric to confront him.
I'm not a little boy. I'm barely a year younger than you.
Well, you certainly don't act like it.
I really couldn't help but laugh. Matthew seemed very much like a kid. He was adorable. However, I couldn't help but feel like in a way he was much more mature than the others, especially Eric. Yeah, we went through that before in his route. He definitely is mature.
Huh? Is something funny?
Haha, no, it's nothing at all. Thank you for the meal, all of you.
Oh, you're welcome, miss.
Such a well-mannered young lady. Beautiful inside and out.
Eric, knock it off.
In agreement with Matthew, Sam cocked up his head and glared at Eric.
Seriously, you're getting really annoying with that suck-up act.
It was obvious that Sam was the bad boy of the group. He had this big, tough act, and it was obvious that he was physically stronger than the rest of the guys. But was there more to him than that? Yes, there is.
I'm just trying to be a gentleman. The young girl has already gone through so much. She deserves a good treatment.
There's a difference between being a gentleman and being an obnoxious flirt.
Schooled even by James. You're gonna need some cold water for that burn.
By the way, I don't believe we caught your name even though you know each of us.
Ah, I'm Rena.
It's a pleasure to finally know your name.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
They were all comfortable around me despite the awkward situation we were in. It was as if it were natural for them to be around humans. I guess that was how incubi worked. But I was still curious about one thing. Excuse me. All at once they looked at me. I didn't know why, but having all of them look at me made me feel kind of important, like a queen or something.
What is it, miss?
I want to thank you for the food, but I still want to know why you all came here. I'm gonna skip all this. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Brief summary. They want to know if they're gonna stay in the house or leave. Then flashback. And now we're here. And we're gonna decide that...
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
Thanks, Grandfather. And as I was saying, we decided to let them stay here. You could...
What was that, lovely lady?
That is,
Spit it out already.
Calm down, Jesus. You could stay with me here if you'd like. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads from my words. The silence in the air cut like a knife until I finally spoke up once more. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and, well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seemed like it made sense. It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking. If you would like to stay here, though, there are two things I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guest that comes over. Well, save for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
Second, you have to help me with any errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
It's alright, really. I mean, I just started living here myself, so I would appreciate some help around the house.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
What? Are you serious?
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
They all seemed to like the idea, except for Sam. And hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It would be interesting having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given they would follow the rules I had just laid down.
Grr, fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
We're gonna do that in the next round, Eric. Calm your pants.
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with food on the table. I noticed James's eye twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh.
Really, you two? You're both acting like pigs.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Mommy Eric and Daddy James. Okay, I'm gonna stop there.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
I almost couldn't hold it in. But I did. I merely smiled before I took some food for myself. There was one piece of food that intrigued me and was barely touched by the boys. It looked like green pasta with shrimp over it. Huh? What's this?
That, miss, is a shrimp pesto dish. Pastas are my specialty, so I'm positive you'll enjoy it.
I twirled some around my fork and tried it. I could feel my senses open as my taste buds practically melted in delight at the taste. It was creamy and savory, almost impossible to describe. This is amazing!
I'm glad you like it. At least someone here in the room has taste.
Oh my god. I'm guessing he's pointing towards Matthew and Sam. Cough, cough, Matthew, Sam, cough, cough. Matthew and Sam glared at James before they continued to eat. See? Told you. I couldn't help but smile at the brotherly quarrel before eating the rest of the pasta on my plate. James seemed to really hold high standards for his brothers, though it wasn't my place to question why. We all ate dinner together, however, peace was soon disturbed. I'm gonna skip. I have to organize the house party, 'cause Dad wants us to do it. Anyways, they're gonna help to set up the party. And we get to sleep, finally. So we're just gonna go. With that, I left the dining room and went to my room.
Eric, no.
What? I wasn't going to do anything.
Yes, he was.
Shh!
As soon as I got into my room, a wave of exhaustion hit me. Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I just woke up from that nap. I dragged myself to my bed and hauled up one of my bags. I opened it and grabbed my economics book, knowing that no matter how tired I was, I had to study at least a page or two before sleeping at last. The words on the pages scrambled in my mind as I read through them, but after 2 or 3 tries, I managed to understand what the page was about. Equations. Ugh. Finally, I decided to change into my pajamas and head to bed. Today had been a long day and I needed the rest. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. 3 days of surprises in a row would kill me. Ha ha ha. Funny you should mention that. With that thought in my mind, I drifted to sleep, embracing the darkness of slumber.
You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Well, save that to the end of my pistol.
Huh? What's going on? I couldn't move my body. I felt like I was tied up, and I couldn't see anything beyond the darkness that surrounded me. Yet I could hear the sounds of a heated argument coming at me from all directions.
One move and she gets it.
Let her go!
Matthew?
Come on, chicken shit. Fight us like a real man.
Like you scare me, Sam. Come on. Take one step. I dare ya.
Why can't I see?
Stay away from her, Malix!
And what are you gonna do, nerd boy?
Suddenly, I felt myself pulled to one side, and arms wrapped around my body protectively.
I've got you. Don't worry.
Huh? Eric? As I was held in a tight embrace, I felt the world around me once again settle into a low, peaceful hum. The hostility of the dream before had faded into black as the arms around me rocked me comfortingly. Can't read. Slowly, though, my eyes fluttered open and I looked up at the person holding me. Damien? I'm gonna skip this. Blah, 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 blah. And we come with Susan Naomi coming at the door and and meeting all the guys. I haven't done that, my brother, so I'm gonna do that for you guys.
They're your brothers? Since when did you have brothers?
It was no use. There was no time to lie to them. I felt helpless. And now James is gonna take over and tell them things like, things. That thing. Okay, skipping. They want to hang out with me, but I have to stay and help around the house. Okay,
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Besides, it's my housewarming party. I should help out too.
Want us to help out as well?
I think we got it all taken care of. Thanks, though, girls.
All right. We'll head on out then so we're not in the way.
Sorry, guys. I'll hang out with you guys soon.
It's all good, Anderson. We'll definitely come to the housewarming party tonight.
Thank you. I led them back into the lobby and walked them to the doors, but opening it for them with a thankful smile. They both gave me hugs before walking to Naomi's car, which was parked in the driveway. And with that, they left. I was happy that they wanted to help, but I had to do this on my own. It was not their work, so I didn't want to force it on them just because they were my best friends. We had the entire day to work. The party was tonight, and wow, I cannot read. My God. The party was tonight, and we had to do all we could to make everything right. We sat down and talked about what needed to happen before the party started that night. Each guy had been assigned a different part of the party to do, and right after lunch, we began to work. Since everything was taken care of by at least one incubus, James told me I could assist one of them. The question was, who? James with the garden. James and I headed out to the garden. It had been years since I had been in a small field. The gazebo was smaller than I remembered, but I had grown since I had last seen it. James rolled up his sleeves and took in a breath of air before sighing contently.
So, we need to cater to the plants and make sure there are no muddy spots in the grass. It may take a while. Are you sure you wish to help me and not the others?
I shook my head, rolling up my sleeves as well. I can handle it. I'd rather work outside anyway. James nodded with a smile before handing me a watering can, gesturing to a group of flowers by the side of the yard. I walked over and began to water the flowers. However, as silence took control of the air, I felt the need to start a conversation. Ask him a question. So, do you like flowers? I wanted to smack myself. That was a terrible conversation starter, but at least you're trying. You're better than me, at least. I'm terrible at starting conversations. That was better than me. I mentally smacked myself before hearing James chuckle softly. I turned to look at him as he nodded.
You have a wonderful aesthetic. Many people would think that flowers are simple and rather boring, but I've learned secrets about flowers.
Secrets about flowers? What, like a special way to water them or something?
You could say that. There are right and wrong ways to water flowers.
Can you show me? What? James gave a small smirk before walking over and standing behind me. I instantly blushed as he brought his arms underneath mine, guiding my watering can. The water gently poured over the dirt, sinking into it and dissolving into the roots. However, my concentration on the water was broken by the sound of James's voice in my ear.
Flowers need to be cared for gently, like a fragile life. Too much power and they'll break, but too little and they'll wither and fade away. It's like caring for a pet or a loved one.
My one weakness is when people whisper in my ear. Oh my God. Okay, moving on. A loved one. For some reason, those 3 words echoed in my head. James continued to guide my watering can, using gentle hands to lead my arms and my body. It was almost like a dance. Eventually, he let go and stepped away from me. I turned to him as he simply smiled at me before returning to his work. I felt my face with my hand, feeling the extreme warmth before shaking my head and continuing to water the remaining plants. The hour of the house party had arrived. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials for the party. Knowing my dad, he invited his business partners and the executives of the Anderson Company to show me off. I stood in front of my mirror in my room, staring at my form as a million thoughts ran through my mind. It was just a housewarming party, but at the same time, it wasn't. It was my chance to show my dad that I was better than his expectations. It was a chance for me to see my parents as a woman. It was my test to see if I was really ready to live on my own. Well, not truly alone. I had the incubi to thank, but even so, I didn't have my dad guiding me or my mom helping me through living alone. A knock on my door broke my thoughts, surprising me. Who is it?
Hey, are you okay in there? Your parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
Well, I'm ready, but...
But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
All right. As soon as I opened the door to the hall, I watched as Naomi's and Suzu's faces turned from smiles to complete awestruck stares. What?
Dude, you look hot.
Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
I've had it for a while now. I just never had the chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now. I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed to the nines as proper servants.
Whoa, they really know how to dress well, don't they?
Yeah. I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the poise of a perfect gentleman. Even Sam. Surprising, I know. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Susan and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly flushed, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked down that final step smiling.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
Just because it's James, I feel like I'm gonna say, to be honest, no. I didn't feel confident at all. Something about tonight frightened me. I couldn't tell if it was the fear of my dad or of the guests that Dad surely invited, but something about tonight's party left me beyond nervous. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang. I gulped. And that's the end of this episode wow, I'm starting over. And that's the end of this episode. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, then please subscribe to me. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!